Hello and welcome to my channel. This is Joy from She Speaks Too. Make sure you like, make sure you comment, and make video today, a serious video about the time that I was sick in Liberia, which just happened, and my belief in how I think people die and fall through the cracks in healthcare in Liberia, and how if I didn't have the means to get better, it would have been detrimental for me, and how a common illness, something we call small sickness. You find out the person had a cold, the next day you find out they were dead. And this is how I believe people die in Liberia. So this is what this video is about. If you want to hear my journey, my story, stay tuned. I also want to say that I'm recording this video on October 24th, which is also my birthday. I don't know if I'm going to put it out on the 24th, but I'm recording it. So if you are kind, cutesy, you can say happy birthday in the comments. So we went back to Liberia in January of 2024. Everything was fine. By late March, early April, I started having like abdominal pain. I didn't know what was going on. So, just kind of like, doesn't feel right. So finally, it occurred to me, and I was right. I have a urinary tract infection, a UTI, which nobody get it confused. A UTI is not an STD. A UTI is a urinary tract infection, or what is commonly called just a bladder infection. So I had a urinary tract infection, which I diagnosed on my own, and I was correct. What I did was I looked up the most common meds used to treat a urinary tract infection, which was Cipro. I looked that up and found out that's usually the first line of medicine. And being a nurse, I went out to the pharmacy in Liberia, which you don't need a doctor's prescription, and I went and got Cipro. Bad choice. Turns out Cipro is overused in Liberia, so a lot of bacteria has built resistance to Cipro, so it really doesn't work. They give Cipro for everything, for typhoid, for this, yellow jaundice, for this, anything. So I went and got Cipro. In the meantime, after getting the Cipro, we had a friend, my husband's cousin, came to stay with us, and she's a medical doctor, lives in Washington, D.C. So she came to live with us, and I told her, I said, towards the end of taking the Cipro, I said, I don't feel better. So she recommended another medication for me to take, which it turned out that the bacteria was sensitive to, which means it would react. She told me to take that. I took it. In the meantime, she left Liberia, came back to the States. Towards the end of that treatment, I still wasn't better. So then I decided to go to a doctor. Went to the doctor, told her what was going on. And in the meantime, she gave me a prescription for antibiotics. So by now, I'm on 3 different antibiotics. She gave me a prescription for antibiotics. I started taking that. We did a urine culture, and sensitivity. They test the urine. Yes, I had a urinary tract infection. They tested that. Also, they did the culture and sensitivity, which will tell you which medicine will treat your bacteria. So she gave me medicine while we were waiting on those results. Those results took about 3 days. When she got the results, she said, stop taking that. You have another medicine. So now I'm on 4 different medications. I start taking that. The UTI is not going away. I finally go to Jamali and see a doctor that I'm very fond of, a very nice doctor. We did an abdominal ultrasound just to make sure nothing was going on. She put me on medicine. They did another culture sensitivity. She put me on another antibiotic in the meantime. That culture and sensitivity came back as, by now I think I'm on 5 different I've been on 5 different antibiotics, which by now your stomach flora, I'm going to do a little nursing for you. So your gut has good bacteria and bad bacteria. Because the antibiotic doesn't know the difference, it's destroying all of your good bacteria in your stomach, which could cause diarrhea, stomach issues. So by now I need to be on a probiotic, which I was already, to protect my gut health, because I've been on so many different antibiotics. So they did an abdominal ultrasound, because by then I was worried, and she put me on medicine, did the urine culture, said she would call me in about 3 days. She called me about 3 days. Turns out that they found the medicine that was needed. But guess what? The medicine is not in Liberia. The only place they can get this medicine from is Ghana because it's an IM injection, meaning an injection, my friends. So if you don't know me, I'm a nurse. I also worked as a phlebotomist, but I'm terrified of needles. But guess what? I got over that fear very quickly. So she called me to say that the medicine that I need is not in Liberia. They're shipping it. They're getting it from Ghana. The cost is $800 plus because I also have to pay for the nursing visits. So what happened was the medicine, they delivered it from Ghana, 800 USD, in case somebody say, oh, that LD or USD. USD, in God we trust. So they shipped the medicine from Ghana. It was like $800 plus the nursing visits. This medicine was twice daily injection. So in my butt, in my thigh, anywhere you can find, twice a day. I went in the morning, went in the evening. I did this for 7 days. So I did this for 7 days. I was getting twice daily injections. A friend had a birthday that was out of town. I could not go because it was a 3-day birthday thing. Could not go because Wedded Joy, Joy from She Speaks To, is getting twice daily antibiotic injection. The medicine seemed to work. Towards the end of that treatment, I still started having symptoms. The injection series, 7 days, was finished, went back to the doctor, did a test. The UTI has not cleared up. So then we decided to do IV infusion of antibiotic, 1 IV, and then this medicine, phosphomycin, can cure a UTI in 1 dose. They gave me 3 doses 1 day apart. Take every other day for 3 doses, IV antibiotics. So now I've been on like 10, 11 antibiotics at this point. Infection did not go away. I'm in pain. I'm losing weight. I'm sad. I don't sleep good. And I'm worried because with a urinary tract infection, your fear is that it's going to go to your kidneys and then you develop sepsis, which sepsis is just a fancy word of saying overall infection through your whole body, where now you're on a ventilator, you're getting IV antibiotics, and the IV antibiotics that they would need more than likely would not be in Liberia. And sepsis is life-threatening. People die in the US from sepsis. So my fear is this would travel. So everybody kept telling me, leave Liberia, go. But this was from April carried over till June. My daughter's school didn't get out until mid-June, and I didn't want to disrupt her. I felt as a nurse, I could tell if it got to that point that I would know when to leave. So it wasn't cured. We did some oral meds. Then my daughter's school was closed. Right before I left for 3 days, we did IV antibiotics to just pull me through in order for me to get to the States. So we did IV antibiotics for 3 days. And I mean, by then I was just like sick. I was tired. And I came to the United States. When I came to the United States, I have a friend who's a nurse practitioner, and I called her. She said, come on in. I went, I was having symptoms. She prescribed one of the medicines that I had taken in Liberia that it showed that the bacteria was sensitive to. And I took that, and she did a UA. I took the medicine. She prescribed the medicine even though we did a UA and it said no bacteria. And that was how my urinary tract infection was cured. What I learned was that there has been a rise of bacteria, antibiotic resistant bacteria, UTI infections, that this has been a worldwide thing because of the over prescribing of antibiotics. For people that don't know it, they're taking antibiotics for the wrong thing. So this is a worldwide thing happening, but it's even compounded with the fact that I was in Liberia and it was happening then. So what I want to say is how people die in Liberia. The cost of being on almost 13, 14 different antibiotics, one of them $800 a pop, IV antibiotics, paying for the nurse's visit. By the time I left Liberia, I had spent almost $3,000 on antibiotic and medical treatment just for me, and I still wasn't cured. The average person doesn't even make $3,000 a year. And the fear was that this infection could have traveled to my kidneys and then it would have been bad news for me. So people get urinary tract infections all the time. As a new nurse, I did, because urinary tract infections are caused by bacteria entering your urinary tract, which could be your urethra or your bladder, any of those things. And a lot of times new nurses get that from not going to the bathroom, holding your urine, and the bacteria just kind of pooling. So it's a simple infection, usually cured very simply, but that was not the case for me, and it was scary, and I spent tons of money without being cured, which led me to my other point. I wasn't sure if the medicine that I was getting was effective. Was it pure? Was it pure? Was I getting the highest dose? Because even the doctor friend, my husband's cousin, said at some point, with all the antibiotics that they've given you, even if it's not the right one, the fact that nothing could cure this, she's like, I'm worried about it. And she would tell me, you need to leave that country. And so I finally left. This happened from late March, early April, up until June, when I finally left. I left like the 21st or 22nd of June. And so that is my story. And I believe wholeheartedly people die because of financial reasons, because the medicine maybe is not as effective, because of things falling through the crack. At one point, the earlier doctor put me on a medicine that the bacteria was resistant, meaning the medicine wasn't going to respond. And so that was something that I learned after the fact, which I didn't understand that either. So, but anyway, that is my story. That is how I got sick in Liberia. That is how I believe people die because of lack of financial, not being able to afford treatment, not being able to advocate for themselves. Me being a nurse, I knew how to speak up for myself. I knew how to say, no, something's not right. I knew how to say, let me see those culture and sensitivity results. And that's how I even found out that I was given the wrong medicine at one point, not at the doctor from Jamali, but at a previous clinic. And so I just wanted to share that with you, that it has taken me a while. It was quite, for someone who is as healthy as I am, very healthy, bouncing good, it was very depressing. I had never been that sick in my whole life. I've never had the flu. I've never gotten COVID. So it was very depressing, and it was very depressing, and it was someone's calling me because it's my birthday, I'm special. Very depressing, very isolating. At a point, like, I had a couple of friends, it's almost like they got tired of hearing about it. And I didn't talk about it. They would ask me, how are you doing? And I would say I had to go get an IV, and it was almost like, oh, here she goes again. And I'm like, for someone who doesn't even talk about it, like, you can support your friend, but that's a whole nother story. The people that were supposed to be there for me were there for me. But yes, it was very isolating. It was very sad. It was traumatic. It was scary. But I'm here, and I live to fight another day. And that's why I'm telling my story. So anyway, I will still be recording and making videos, even though I'm not in Liberia currently. I don't know when I'm going to be returning, and that is the God's honest truth. If people would just stop asking me that, when you going back? When you going back? Mom, when you give me a job, you buy my ticket, I will go. But anyway, so I just wanted to share that with you guys, and I will start making videos. I will start doing updates, but I just needed some time to get over that and feel a little bit better. So I just wanted to say hi. Thank you guys for the fans, not fans. I'm not fans. Thank you for the subscribers that have hung in there and have even messaged me and told me they miss me. I appreciate you guys. So thank you so much. It's my birthday. You can bless me if you want to. If you want to, ask me for my Cash App. I will not put it there first, but when you ask me, I will give it to you. Then you can bless me. Okay? This is Joy from She Speaks Too. Make sure you like, make sure you comment, make sure you subscribe, and I will see you later.